Pardon the illusion, I'm a one monitor Andy. So, Asmon potentially quit Diablo 4 Season 1. Let's talk about that. The game still isn't good. Why isn't the game good?
Well, because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. That's why, because fuck you.
Seems about right. Seems about
so many
right.
other games have very similar issues. The point of the game is for fun. Many people genuinely have fun where they're playing the game, when they're playing the game for the most part. Many people genuinely have fun with Diablo 4. Then why is everybody talking about how bad it is on every single online forum that exists?
It is unobjectively bad. There are good aspects to it, of course. The game looks great. It fundamentally plays great. Like, you hit the buttons and things happen. You move around. It feels good to move around, for the most part, except when you're on a horse and when there's a barrier in the way. But, yeah, for the most part, it looks great. It sounds great. It plays great. But that's where it stops. Everything else beyond that is absolute shit.
Isn't that interesting that on YouTube, everybody is saying it's garbage? On Reddit, everybody's saying it's garbage. On Twitter, people are saying it's garbage. But there's actually a hidden amount of people. And I think that there's a part of you that's right. That there are probably dad gamers that are level 37 and they're enjoying the game. And hopefully they'll finish the campaign before the expansion comes out.
True.
Definitely true. But I bet there's a lot of other people that have tried to play the game seriously and they learn the error of their ways.
And that's what seasons are for. That's what the longevity of this game is for. There's, beyond the point of buying the game and beating the story, the dad gamers, they're done at that point and they're gone. Continuing to produce content for this game, the microtransactions and stuff, that's for the serious gamers. And they're the ones that are getting pissed off and leaving. So that's a huge problem.
Negativity is often louder than positivity, I think. Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, I think so. But again, I think that the positivity would be taken more seriously if the people that were being positive weren't just faking it and hand-waving obvious issues the game has in order to make their $70 purchase feel like it wasn't a waste of money.
Yep. Exactly. Sunk cost fallacy. Or they're still getting paid to promote the game in some way and they don't want to harm their chances of future promotion. So they're dialing it back.
That's it. I learned this after beta and network testing. The game is not worth the money. The shift plot proved me right. I don't really think that's the issue. I just think the game doesn't play well. Like that's honestly like, in terms of like very like the game plays well in most circumstances. Actually not true. It plays well in most circumstances, but whenever you actually get down to the nuts and bolts of how
I think he's talking about what I basically said, that like the game plays well, but like from a standpoint of like I'm playing this game and doing stuff. But when it comes to the interaction of abilities, I'll let him continue. It's bad.
Of how different things interact with each other, it's garbage. Like getting frozen into a knockback, into something that makes it to where you can't see the rest of your screen. That is the worst mechanic in any game. It's awful in Lost Ark as darkness. It's awful in this game as well. It's crazy, man. You're getting attacked. You have NPCs that start their attacks before you can see them. You're getting shot by something that isn't even on your screen. You have non-telegraphed attacks that just do a large amount of magic damage. And then the stat that's supposed to reduce magic damage doesn't work.
it just yeah, this is a fucking joke, and like the main reason that I'm resonating with this and reacting to this because I'm all about the minion build and I'm replaying the minion build so I could use the malignant hearts and like now that the honeymoon phase, the first 2 days of leveling is over, I'm just like frustrated that I have to redo all this leveling and I have to redo the renown and I'm currently doing the same thing that he got frustrated with and is potentially quitting because of the capstone dungeon to go to world tier 4. Now, we are trying to do it underleveled, but other classes are able to do it underleveled. But that's a huge problem. Like, so you have to play certain broken specs within each class to be able to do it at a certain, to do it underleveled. Otherwise, you have to just grind a ridiculous amount to get to the point where you trivialize the content anyway, and that's how you're going to end up beating it. And there's no way for a skilled player to manage it because you just can't dodge the attacks. Even if you get past the point that he did, which I did, I got to the Elias fight. The Elias fight, he fills the whole arena with fire at a certain point that one-shots you, even through max health and fortify. He does these little circles that appear, and before you just barely have enough time to move to try to get out of them, and the hitbox is horrible. Even if you think you're out of them, you get hit by them, and that one-shots you. So you actually, like, are punished for being under level unless you are completely breaking the game, damage-wise and mechanics, and you're zerging through all that. Which, yeah, so the result is, alright, so just grind more until you can do it. It's like, alright, great. But this is boring. The leveling experience is really slow unless you're having your hand held by 3 other people for some reason. They want solo players to have a miserable time. And then they want you to solo through this type of content. Like, it doesn't make any type of sense. Like, or sure, maybe I can have somebody hold my hand through the capstone, but I don't want to do that either. That's fucking dog shit. And the fact of the matter is, I've already beaten this. I've already beaten it on my previous Necromancer at like level 60 or 62. So it's basically the same thing. It's just like, alright, well, I just gotta grind to level 62, I guess. Get a couple more Paragons, a little bit more stats. There's nothing I can really do with my gear, because I've basically got all Sacreds. So I'm stuck. Until I get to World Tier 4, I can't upgrade my gear. All I can do is grind experience, and the experience grinding aspect is really fucking slow. And I can grind Renown, sure. But it's inefficient. That's also boring and slow. It's doing the same dungeons over and over and over again that I've already done, basically. And you can't choose which nightmare dungeons you get. Like, they have this small list of nightmare dungeons. If I could make any dungeon on the map a nightmare dungeon, that might soften the blow. So I can, okay, I'll just do one dungeon at a time, make them a nightmare dungeon, and I'll farm my renown that way. No, you can't do that. The developers did not think about anything going into this game, or these seasons, and it's fucking upsetting and it's obnoxious because they like talk this big game like, oh, we got season 1, season 2 basically locked down. We can't really change anything. Oh, so you thought you locked down the season. You thought of everything that could be problematic? No. Within fucking minutes of the season being out, they're like, oh, there's a problem with inventory space because the malignant hearts are taking up too much space. It's dumb. They're absolutely fucking meatheads.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, people are dumb for defending it.
It's insane. It's a flat damage, and it's a vulnerability none of the future patches were. Yeah. Let's just get a also tournament mode. Yeah, reach level 100. I was planning to play season 1. I reached level 20, and I was like, fuck it, it's repetitive. I'm starting again. Yeah, and there are people refarming Renown. Holy shit. Yesterday you said the game is 9 out of 10. Absolutely. Yes, for a lot of people it is. Because most people don't play the game seriously.
Yeah, the
I
people
said
that
if
are
you
the
are an
people that are
ARPG
finishing
player
the
that is
game,
very casual, I think
the casual people that are about to be leaving the game anyway because they finished the story and they're moving on with their life, sure. The game looks great, sounds great, plays well. It's a 9 out of 10 for them. I agree. But the longevity of the game hangs on the balance of whether the hardcore players want to keep going. And for the hardcore players, it's a fucking 2 out of 10.
Diablo 4 is an incredible game for you. But if you want to take it seriously and look at the intricacies of how the different interactions in this game occur, they are unfair and unfun. But most people don't play the game that way, so it's not an issue. Doesn't that make sense?
At this point, Blizzard already made most of the money. So it doesn't make any sense for them to be upsetting the people that are going to continue to keep playing. Just give people what they want. Like, you know, make the game fun. Stop sucking the fun out of the game and make the game fun. Bring back the quality of life that you ripped out from Diablo 3, left out of this game, and these stupid Renown grinds, and let us have fun.
I just don't get why I have to reactivate waypoints every season. Because fuck you, that's why. What do you think? That's why, because fuck you. That's what you get. Didn't you buy the battle pass? No, you didn't? Well, then fuck you.
Unfortunately, I did, and that's the only reason I like the mental illness in me is like, oh, you need to finish that battle pass at least before you quit, because if the game ever does get good, you're gonna think back at those rewards that you sacrificed and lost and be upset about it, and that annoys me. And I shouldn't be upset about it. I should just say fuck this game and move on with my life and be happy. I want it to be good though, you know.
Click him again. I don't know what to say. The butcher will be waiting for you. At least the butcher's fair. He's just really hard. Don't you have to redo waypoints in PoE? Yeah, you do. I understand that if you want to make comparisons to PoE, you can do that. And I don't know if you know this, but I don't think PoE is a perfect game. It's not. And
Far from it. PoE is feels terrible to play. I like ARPGs, and I'm not a casual player by any means, but I'm not a spreadsheet player. I am a solo self-found player, and the punishment for doing that in PoE, I don't even know if it's bad. I didn't even get to the point of feeling it. People just kept telling me, like, because I was streaming back then more, and I was streaming it, and they're like, you need to look up a build, you need to look up a build, or you're gonna regret it, you're gonna regret it. And I was like, I already regret playing this game. I fuck this shit. I'm out. This is annoying. If I gotta play with a spreadsheet, if everyone's gonna tell me that I'm gonna regret playing the game if I don't look up a build, fuck it. It's a bad game.
I think one of those parts of it, it's kind of annoying, but you also go through the campaign, and in the process of going through the campaign, you will unlock those waypoints. Do you want to hear a unpopular opinion, maybe? I wish that we had to redo the campaign and we could skip the Renown.
I love this, man. If you guys did not watch my previous video about Diablo 4 being shit, I bring up some points like this. It would really mean a lot to me if you guys go back and watch it just to get my feedback. But yeah, I talk about this. I would rather do the story than the Renown. Like, each chapter of the story should just, boom, knock out the Renown for that area. It's fucking stupid. They put all this work into the cutscenes, into the story, and literally the only problematic part about the story was not having the horse the first time. If you have the horse going into it the second time and all that, it's fine. I think the story would be great. I do the story all day, every day. literally, I'll make a new character and do the story every day, as long as I start with the horse. I don't care about collecting the waypoints again, because they're pretty much on the path of the story. Like Asmon said, you know, even though he was talking about PoE, basically, you know, if you played through this game, you get all the waypoints while going through the story. So, yeah, I totally agree. Great take.
I would have rather done the campaign again and seen all the cutscenes and all the stuff like that, and actually played through something that was actually good content, than just spam running the same shitty reskin dungeons with the same shitty renamed, oh, sorry, not renamed bosses. They don't even bother to do that. It's just called the exact same thing. Over and over again, doing the same shitty side quests that aren't fun, that everybody skips through them, that...
Yeah, they are trash, and to make matters worse, you don't know what side quests lead you into dungeons. So you essentially have to grab all the side quests. If you know, you know. You have to grab all the side quests to find out which ones lead you into dungeons before you do the dungeons. That way you could double dip. And, you know, and in all honesty, if they did something where you entered the world and all of the side quests to take you into dungeons were already activated, so you know which ones they were, and you could make any dungeon a nightmare dungeon, so you could triple dip, get the aspect, do, you know, do the dungeon for the first time, do the nightmare dungeon version of it, and to get some credit towards your glyphs and the side quests all at once. Maybe that would make the Renown grind not as bad, but they set it up in such a problematic, annoying way that has you constantly backtracking and going back and forth and doing shit unless you look up a guide. Like, and again, I don't want to play a game with a fucking guide. I don't want to play a game with a tutorial, or look up shit like Helltide chest timers and stuff like that. It's fucking dog shit.
Add texture to the lore of the world, but nobody cares because they're just tied behind a reward, so people just speed run them anyway. It's pathetic.
Yeah, the dungeons are crap.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Following the camel is good content. That's one of the better quests. You don't have to do you don't have to redo your waypoints in PoE. Like, if I missed the waypoint in PoE, I still...
Yeah, following the camel's like fucking 5 minutes. Like, sure, they could have toned down or let you skip the like talking in between when you hit those camps or something, maybe. But really, like, would you rather grind out, it's what, 40 renown per dungeon? You need, so you do 10 dungeons, you get 400. 20 dungeons to get 800. You need, from the point that you start at to get to 2,000, you need like 1,000 or some shit. You need 1,000 or like, I don't even, maybe it's like 800, but even still, 20 dungeons? Would you rather watch the camel or run 20 fucking dungeons, man? I'll take the camel.
I can still, you know, level up my character. I'm not, it's like I'm losing a skill point there. And do you know how long it takes to get all the skill points in PoE? For like a really, really good player? Like 5 hours. 5 to 7, maybe 8 hours. How long does it take for somebody to do that in Diablo?
I played about 5 hours today before I got anxious and jumped into the capstone dungeon and got to the boss, and I got like this close to beating him, and I died to some... Oh, a bug. I dodged and my character froze, and I couldn't fucking move. And then I got killed by a mechanic. So, fuck you, Blizzard, for not fixing that bug.
Before, probably like 10.
But yeah, 5 hours to do like 1.5. I finished one area's renown, and I'm like 2 quest dungeons away from
15.
Another one.
4 hours? That's world record is 4 hours. So I went a little bit up from that. Yeah, I know world record is like 3 to 4 hours, but I'm saying like a very good player is probably 5. I hope they get rid of redoing the campaign whenever you make a new character in PoE. Well, we'll see. Anyway.
All right,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna skip ahead because he goes back. He actually talks about this like three times at least in this stream. This is how bad. This is how fucking crazy it was. Like at the point where he stopped playing, that point, and then again, like later on, I think around here, he starts to make a list of all the things that are bad with the game.
A short list of things that are bad.
So let's check this out.
Okay, and then I want to.
Where am I located? Is my camera still good? Let me move myself down here. I'll leave it there in case he goes back to the bottom.
And do this instead. Look at this other video. Okay.
Oh shit, my bad. Alright, let's see it.
Is Diablo 4 is bad? Too many on death effects. On death effects is probably one of the main ones. They're not fun, they're annoying, and I don't like dying to on death effects. I don't like having to think about them. They're obnoxious. Oh, also certain
to add to his on death effects, the worst part of them is like waiting. You killed the enemy and your loot's in the middle of like 20 effects and you're just standing there waiting to get your loot and you can't. And the exploding fire one has like multiple hits that just nuke your minions instantly. So fuck that 30% buff. That thing is useless in a lot of scenarios. The minions just get eaten through that, and the fact that gets through testing and like Rod Ferguson of all people plays a minion build, and he has proved himself to be clueless about the mechanics and how this game works time and time again on the streams. So much so that they had to pull him off of the last stream. That's my theory, at least, why he wasn't there. But yeah, fucking ridiculous. All death effects are trash. The enemy's dead. Everything, its attack should be gone.
NPCs and spell effects obscure. The on death effect animations,
yeah, like your minions,
makes them harder to see, thus harder to avoid. So things like the most recent one, like I'm playing Necromancer, is like corpse explosion, right? The corpse explosion, like a poison floor thing, or the miasma,
I don't even use that.
It actively obscures the animations.
The minions themselves still obscure them. So like,
what?
It's an additive thing.
Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Like that's insane. It's even worse before too. Yes, I remember they put in a hot fix to make it better, and it's still worse.
And he's playing on high graphics. I have to play on low settings because my laptop's a piece of dog shit. And you know what? You know what these geniuses fucking did? They reduced the effects. They reduced your ability to see the effects on low settings for some stupid fucking reason. Of all things to reduce, they reduce your ability to see certain ground effects. Fucking morons.
It's insane. And then also, you are zoomed in too much.
FOV is garbage.
I think this is a pretty obvious thing. I think everybody can see exactly why this is a problem. But also, it is mainly a problem because the range on attacks from NPCs is larger than your view distance, meaning you get off-screened by attacks that you didn't see.
Does he show the clip again?
Skeleton Ballista.
It'll probably be on his YouTube. His
I know I
editors will
spelled
do
it
it.
wrong, but that's it.
His editors will put this stuff up there.
Let's see here.
If you didn't see why he basically rage quit, like check out his VOD or check out his YouTube later. It'll for sure be up there. But it's absolute bullshit, and yeah, I know exactly what he was dealing with because I just literally had to deal with the same thing. And the way to deal with it, I had to cheese the enemies by like engaging them, letting my minions attack them, and then me running around a corner. So like I physically could not be hit by the enemy. And if it ran around the corner, I would run back around the corner. And that's how I would have to manipulate them. And sometimes they would still get me. And it's fucking obnoxious. And there's just no way, full health, full fortify, like the only way to do it is to overlevel or to be of adequate level. But it's stupid when other classes can manipulate broken mechanics or cheesed, broken abilities to completely trivialize it.
You can zoom out and play in windowed mode in lower resolution. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That sounds like crap. I play in windowed mode and in lowered resolution because of my PC and the FOV is dog shit. It's the same. It's absolute dog shit.
Are no debuff. There's no debuffs. There is
timers.
No debuff
timers.
Bar that shows if you get CC'd and how long you will be CC'd for.
Yeah, sometimes the one they do have doesn't show up. Like if you're dazed or something, you get dazed.
Okay, so there's that.
While you dodge or something, apparently, and it just won't show the debuff on you. But the debuff is apparently still hitting you. And there's evidence of this with the new Malignant Heart, where after you recover from a CC, you do like a flaming burst. So yeah, there's absolutely still bugs there.
Oh, too many mechanics knock you back or move your character. I find them to be fucking annoying.
I don't really notice
just move
that.
You around all the time. Oh yeah, loot filters. You constantly get sacred.
I don't notice that happening, but I know how that's annoying. Not being able to control your character is fucking bullshit. It's the worst part of any game. Stop that.
Items when you don't need them, and you can't use a loot filter to remove them.
Yeah, we need loot filters. We also need to be able to salvage. All right. Tell me why the fuck I can't salvage from my inventory. It doesn't make any sense. Basically, like every game in existence that I know, in your inventory you can dismantle items to get the materials. And now, like, if you want me to go to the blacksmith to have to upgrade and do certain things, sure. But dismantling, I should be able to dismantle from my inventory. I should be able to socket and unsocket from my inventory. If you want to have a cost applied to that, fine. I don't care. Take my fucking gold. But why do I have to go through loading screen after loading screen after loading screen and deal with a bunch of shitty loot like that is unfiltered without a means to quickly get rid of that loot? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Or like when they add filters, please, for the love of God, have the stuff below your filtered level just turn directly into materials or something on the floor, so you don't miss out on materials. That's the only thing that I could say that I hate about it, is when you skip a bunch of loot, you're missing out on the gold, you're missing out on the materials, whatever. So yeah, I wish there was just a way that you could filter it out, and that way those items would auto pick up, auto dismantle, something like that. Lots of games have features like this. There's no excuse for them to not be able to make stuff like this. All they need to do is hire system engineers that know what the fuck they're doing. It's obvious. Like, I feel like they constantly come up with excuses for why they can't do things, but there's plenty of games that do these things. There are people out there that know how to program these features. There are systems engineers that know how to make the things that you're refusing to put in your game. You just don't want to put them in the game. You don't want to hire people that know what they're doing, or whatever. Just whatever it is, admit it. It fucking sucks. And your game is going to suffer in the long run, and your reputation is going to suffer in the long run with your, your hardcore community, in the long run for it.
Uber rares are garbage.
Yeah. Even the non-unique, the non-Uber ones are fucking garbage.
Only stupid.
Why is the minion build tied to this Ring of Mendown, and you can't get that until you hit World Tier 4? Fucking trash. Fuck you. That's absolute trash. All the uniques that I get pre-World Tier 4 are for fucking builds that I don't want to play. It's absolute obnoxious. So why are certain ones gatekeep behind certain levels, but others aren't? Fuck you. The worst design ever.
Stupid people think is fun. Let's see. Best quality guys constantly get shit on, unappreciated for no reason. Human beings, personal lives, personal issues too at their job, negativity and drama is what sells views. Gamers are the problem. Bro, gamers are not the problem. Gamers did not program attacks to happen off screen.
These gamers are the consumer. We are the customer. We are the people that they are making the games for. We are the people that they hope to please. I mean, of course we're the problem, but that's not a fucking bad thing. It is their obligation to make us happy and have us having fun. Or we're gonna fucking quit and talk shit about their game, of course. And rightfully so. And again, I said before, there are good aspects of Diablo 4. The music, the aesthetic, the way that the controls, the way that the game plays and controls. You hit buttons, things happen. The story was pretty good. If you watch my previous video, I'll explain why the story was shit. For most people, the story is probably good. But for me, it was absolute dog shit, and I think it is dog shit the way they set it up. So please go watch that video and find out why. But, yeah, I'm just going to let him continue because, fuck, man.
Like, you've got to be trolling, right? Like, you've 100% got to be trolling.
Twitch chat is, they're just gatekeeping Andes.
Like, are you trolling or are you being... Are you being serious?
They're constantly trolling and gatekeeping over some dumb shit.
Yeah, is this a real person? Let's see.
Like, why are people gonna make a game about how good a game is every day?
Seems like a Blizzard developer. Well,
especially if the game has problems. Of course, there's a lot of negative videos about a game that has a lot of problems.
Okay, we've got a dev in chat. Thank God. All right, I've got a list for you. Okay.
This whole interaction, I did watch this earlier, is funny. I don't know if this guy's really a dev or the other guy accused of being a dev, but they are definitely dev sympathizers, and it doesn't make any sense, especially when like the devs, like, they do the job that they are told to do inherently, and someone at Blizzard is telling them not to do certain things. Someone above them is telling them to try to implement or not implement certain things, for sure,
Uh-oh.
Or they're certainly asking, can you implement this, or do I gotta hire somebody else? Well, I don't want to hire somebody else, so fuck it, we're not implementing that. Just more like this, the scenario.
Is it really no? Is he really not going to say anything?
Let's see. I want to see if he adds more to this list, because he just kind of, like, deals with these shitheads for a while. I'm going to skip ahead and see if he ended up adding more to the list.
The debuff bar built in?
The capstone I don't remember.
What a...
The loot filter, Uber uniques, yeah, still the same shit.
Besides that, what if you're not doing the capstone dungeon for that? What? What is wrong with these fucking people? Oh my god.
His chat was filled with bad takes.
What?
Basically, this chat was full of these takes. Just add more health. Just fortify. Just level up more. Just use permanent immunity from Blood Mist. Just play a different class. Like, stuff like that. Just, like, fucking completely brain dead, like, obvious takes. Like, so of course, I could play a completely broken, cheesed out class, but there's no reason why every class shouldn't be able to perform this feat if the player is skilled enough at an equal level as other players. And the only thing preventing me from beating Elias was not being able to dodge out of his fucking abilities that are virtually impossible to dodge out of. And especially when I did dodge out of them, there was a bug that prevented me from moving my character and ended up having me dying when the boss was at 5% fucking health. So of course, I get frustrated and I auto 4 out of this shit. Like, why am I gonna waste my time? Like, yeah, I can just go level up a little bit more, and then it'll be easier. I'll clear it with no problem. But yeah, you know what? You know what I don't want to do? I don't want to waste my time anymore playing a shitty game. Until mental illness sets in, and for some reason I decide to give it another shot. Maybe they'll claim to buff experience or something. That's usually what happens. They claim to buff or fix something, and I come back, and the game's still shit. It's a never-ending cycle. We fix something. We buff something. No, you fucking didn't.
Even more than fair. Yes, I've been a massive defender.
I tried to be.
There are people that are in our society, their numbers are growing, a dumb snowflake type of prioritizing feelings over facts or feeling. Yes. It's like they don't even, and it's like this is what I wanted to show with a lot of these people that are like trying to make they're trying to like run defense for this kind of stuff, is that whenever you actually press them on what they really think, it's dumber than you can ever imagine. Think about the dumbest reason that you could possibly think of, and it's worse than that. They're dev simps. Yes, they're dev simps. That's it.
Yeah, like the oh, well, every time you encounter another player in the game, you have to load all of their stash tabs with all of their items. Oh, so that's why I get massive lag and hitching every time I go near other players? Because for some fucking reason, you need my computer to load their fucking items? Every single one of their items? Not just their cosmetics? The only thing that my computer needs to understand about another fucking player is their basic profile and account information and their cosmetics. Why the fuck am I loading their inventory? Fuck you, Blizzard. It's a shit game. They need to fix it. People need to stop defending it. And this video is long enough. Go check out Asmon when his video's live up on his YouTube. Or just go check out his VOD. This whole VOD was good entertainment and worth watching. But yeah. Later.